Hi, before me is a Toshiba PC. So the owner of this PC complained about the PC was not booting. So I told the person to just enter the BIOS and try to see if you can make adjustment there. But immediately the owner of the PC entered BIOS, it requested for supervisor password. The person doesn't know the supervisor password. So that means this person could not access the BIOS. Okay. So this PC came to me and I discovered something else. Yeah, that is in addition to the problem that it has before. But now the PC will just turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. So in this video, I'm going to see how you can fix this problem. All right. So I've plugged in this PC. Next is power it on. Good, it's power on. So now there's a display. You see, it has turned off. Usually it's going to turn back on, but it will go in a loop that way. You see the problem? So it's although the owner of this video has complained something of this before, that this person will just turn on and turn back off, turn on and turn back off. That sometimes it's going to be stable. But now it appears that this period it is stubborn. It continues this way, and it's even good that it continues this way. So I'll be able to know where the problem comes from. So this is it. As if maybe like perhaps the switch has problem. That is the power switch. I don't know if this one is in frame. Good. As if the power switch has problem, but now what I'm going to do, since it's turning on, off and on, so here is the power switch and here is the cable. So I'm going to remove this cable. All right. So if it is the power switch that is misbehaving, it should stop. But it appears it continues. So that means the problem does not come from the power switch. Yeah, because right here is the power switch. So another thing is going to be to troubleshoot by means of elimination. I've started with one, I've disconnected the switch, but it persists. That means the problem does not come from the switch. So next thing I'm going to do is, to be removing components. Maybe there's a component that is causing it for it not to be stable. Okay. So what I'm going to do, since the PC was not booting, next thing is for me to go to the hard drive section. So I'm even do like this. I will just unplug. Okay, let me try to unplug the drive this way. Yeah. Tablet does not go off anymore. So I've detached. Oh, WD. I hate this hard disk. I hate this hard disk. WD. It's Western Digital. You see that it does not turn off anymore. Yep. It is stable. So apparently, the problem comes from this hard drive. So let me plug it back. If it comes from this, it should repeat. You see, it is stable. So next is for me to attach it. And it's still it is stable. So next is, since I can't make use of keyboard, I'm going to, okay, external keyboard is right here. So I'm going to use Control Alt Delete just to restart it. All right. Yeah, that means it continues. Oh, yeah, it continues. And this is not a seamless reset. Remember, this switch has been disabled. Yeah, has been disconnected, but this problem persists. And this is not seamless reset. Yeah. So I'm going to do this again. Okay. I'm going to do this again. All right. Detached, it turns on. Right. So immediately as I remove it, you look at it right here. And the table does not turn off. So next I'm going to do is, let me try Control Delete. Yeah, it turned off. Yes. Now with nothing attached, it turns back on. All right. Requesting for hard drive. storage device, but nothing. So that is with this one remove. So I'm going to attach this disk and see what happens. Because if with another disk it's stable, no problem, that means the problem comes from this. But apparently the problem comes from this. Yeah. But let's say, because it could be that the disk is working, but maybe the motherboard could not maybe handle the hard drive. Maybe something is wrong on the motherboard. Yeah, this it happens. So let's see. And perhaps it could be that this cable. Yep. So that's why troubleshooting is important. Troubleshooting is going to expose the cause of the problem. Yeah. So hard drive attached, then control alt delete. Let's see what happens. All right, you can see the difference. So this is an OS, this is Windows 7 that is on this hard drive. Yeah, Windows 7 that is on this hard drive. We look at it here. So I can just, okay, start normally. Apparently it's different, although it's going to bring BSOD because there's something with Windows 7. You have to install it on the PC. You can't just remove it SO and it's not like Windows 8 or Windows 10 or thereabouts. So that is it. It's different from this. So apparently this disk, Western Digital, is bad. It's the cause of the problem. So now for it to be turning off and turning on, that has been addressed. And the problem is the disk. Okay, so that is what I need to do in order to have this resolved. Just get a new one that is good and install it on it. But then let's assume that yes, I've found an hard drive. Let's say I want to make use of this that has Windows 7. So I want to install OS on it. For me to install OS on it, I need to go to the boot menu, go to the BIOS, make settings, so that we're able to recognize my flash. But with the supervisor password, it becomes difficult for me to do because it could not see, what is it called? It will not be able to see, I will not be able to, enter the boot menu because of the supervisor password. But now, next thing is, how can supervisor password be tackled or be addressed? Let's see what will happen. So the way I'm looking at this, but first let's look at supervisor password. All right. So right here, don't need you cancel. Yeah. Yes. We restart. Okay, let's say I want to enter boot menu, and this Toshiba F12 is boot menu. So I'm tapping on boot menu before it starts up. Oh, that's not what I need. All right, so it appears I will need to turn this off. Okay, before I turn it off, let me try F2. That is BIOS setup. All right, bring this. All right, so this is, well, it says it's BIOS, Toshiba setup utility. Right, it's right here. Although this screen has problem, but there's nothing I can do here. It's not editable. I can scroll down. This is main. I can scroll down security. If I go to advanced, you see everything is grayed out. Log and change boot order is great. System configuration is grayed out. I can't make any kind of adjustment here. So let me look for an external mouse. All right. So as it is, if I click on enter, nothing. Tab, nothing. So now let me use external mouse. So this is external mouse, yeah. So this is it. So I can switch off. So let me see power management. I can't turn off or turn on anything. All right. This is me clicking on it, but nothing. Anyway, so under security, this is security. Look at it here. Supervisor password. registered. But the BIOS password itself is not registered, but it says supervisor password registered. All right. So close. Yes. Then F12. All right. So there's not. So I'm going to plug in this. I will turn off this PC. It's not bringing up supervisor password for me. All right, turn on. So I will tap on, let me try F2 first and see what's, all right, good. So instead of to enter BIOS, this is what it brings up. I don't know if you can see this. All right. You see that? And this is right here. Okay, enter supervisor password or hit F11, F11 key to proceed. So if I click hit on F11 key, it will go to the other BIOS setup that is read only. So let me just tap on F11. All right, this here, and there's nothing I can do here. There's nothing whatsoever I can do. Nothing at all. All right, so Control Alt Delete. All right, escape. Yes. Then F2. All right, no, I don't need you. Turn off. All right, turn back on. F2. All right, so the supervisor password is off. All right, so in order to address supervisor password, as it is, I press F2. If I press F12 in order to access the boot menu, it's going to remain the same. Okay, so now, let me try that. Let this Control Delete. Will you restart? Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Let me try F12 and see what happens. Turn on. The same thing, supervisor password. So I can't enter the BIOS setup. I can't access the BIOS setup. I can't access the boot menu because of supervisor password. All right. So now I need to pop out something from this supervisor password. So it's going to generate a code that will be used to look for the password. Yeah. So that is Control Tab, Control Enter. All right. Control Tab, Control Enter. So this is it. Oh, please don't cause any problem. So this is it right here. So this is serial number of this PC and this is the challenge code. So the challenge code are these. So in order for me to get this password, I need to look for this serial number challenge code will be used in order to get this response code. And this PC has to remain on. Even though if it lasts a month before one could be able to get the response code, the PC must not turn off. Once it turns off, it's going to generate another challenge code. So it's kind of crazy. All right, it's kind of crazy. So how can this be generated? Well, I've tried to look. I have to, I've asked in the forum, but there was no response. So instead of waiting for maybe like for this response code to come, this is what I can do. This is number one. Number one is just look for a platform and you give the serial number and the challenge code for for you to get the response code. But if you cannot find that, that is number one. One of the ways to solve this kind of a problem, that is supervisor password. Another one is to get, maybe if I want to install OS on it, I will need to take this hard drive to another PC and I will set the BIOS setup to legacy BIOS, that is MBR partition. So when I install OS on it using MBR partition scheme, then I will return it on this PC. It's going to definitely work, but not Windows 7. It has to be Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. Yeah, that is number two. That is taking the disk to another PC to install on it, but you have to know, the partition scheme that is currently on the PC. Because if it is MBR and you end up having a GPT partition scheme, it's not going to recognize it. It has to be the same. That is number two. So third step will be this right here. And this is a BIOS chip. That means I need to find a BIOS firmware that is good and then wipe this one, install another firmware and see. All right, so I've finished installing Windows 11 on this hard drive. So I made use of this PC. So I set the BIOS setup to legacy mode. That is non-UE5. Okay. So because this PC is on legacy BIOS. Yeah. That is, it support MBR partition. So I install this OS using MBR partition, not GPT. So it should work on this PC, right? So now remember on this PC, I could not enter the BIOS and make this settings because there's a password on the supervisor. So there is supervisor password, which the owner does not know. So there are options. Number one is using control button. Yeah, control button and tab and enter in order to pop out the challenge code. So after you get the serial and the challenge code, then you use the tool in order to know the response code. So you have to you have to look for ways in which you can have that resolved. Okay. So maybe contact Toshiba, that this and that. But good luck in doing that, getting the response code. It takes a long time, and the PC must remain on. That is a challenge there. So if something happens and the PC trip off, or it turned off as a result of a lack of power, or something happened, the challenge code will be different. Yeah, because if you launch it again, it's going to be different. It will not be the same as the previous one. So which makes that step to be difficult somehow. Yeah, that is number one. Number two is this one that I just did. Just remove the disk. But whatever thing you want to do, if maybe for example you want to change the boot, maybe something happened at the BIOS reset. Now, as the BIOS reset, you need to change the BIOS settings in order for you to recognize the disk. But with the supervisor password, there's nothing you will do. So the only thing to do is to take the disk to another PC, do a backup, get the stuff out of the disk, then install Windows with the compatible partition that the PC has been reset to. Yeah, maybe it's reset to legacy, then make sure that yes, install OS that support MBR partition. Yeah, that is for the legacy. And lastly is the BIOS chip down here is just to get another firmware and rewrite the BIOS firmware. That is it. So on this PC, I went for the one that is easiest. Yeah, the easiest one and the one that is not costly. Because considering the number of things I've done on this PC, the bill will be too much for the person. And because I have to charge the person for writing the BIOS chip. So I don't want to do that. So I opted for a method that will not affect the owner of the PC much. Yeah. So the cheapest method. Yeah. So so it's true now. OS has been installed on it. So let's see if it's going to work. Definitely it should work. Definitely it should work. The key is making it to work is to make sure that the BIOS settings is compatible to the partition scheme. So if it is GPT, make sure that. If it is UEFI, make sure that the partition scheme on the disk will be GPT, that is guide partition table. But if it is legacy BIOS, that means it has to be master boot record, that is MBR. All right. So let's see if it's going to work. Very good. Yeah, that is it. It's voting. This is Windows 11. Right. So it's as easy as, as ABC. So no matter the PC that you are, that you are facing, yeah, it could be Dell, it could be any PC at all that you could not, access the BIOS because of password. Yeah, you can do something like this. Yeah, yes. Just use another PC in order to set up the OS, and then you return it to it. That is all. You see this one now? It is working. All right, it is working. So the problem, yeah, is a problem. You know, basically there are two things wrong on this PC. Actually, more than three things, more than two things, about three or thereabout, even more than three. Yeah, because I've worked on the hinges had problem. I've worked on it, and this adapter too has problem. All right, so I'll fix it too. Yeah, this is it right here. It has been fixed. So the problem is that the power does not get to here because there's a cut here. There was a cut here. So I make a jump from here to this part here. All right, now to have it fixed. So that is number two. Number three is bad hard disk drive. Okay, I've not experienced a case where hard drive we made the PC not to turn on. It will turn on and turn off, turn on and turn off as if the power switch is misbehaving. But the problem comes from this WD. I don't know, I hate WD with passion. Western Digital. All right. So, and another problem is that the supervisor password. So that one has been bypassed. So I don't need to go into the BIOS setting in order to make settings. Yes, I have this resolved on another PC. So that is it. So if you are faced with similar problem, any PC at all, you know what to do.